I've been so excited to be a participant in this project and a participant in the Congress. I think it's a tremendously important contribution to the study of Islamic cultures everywhere, but especially to the study and understanding and popularization of Uzbek culture around the world. Um, I think that this series of volumes is such an important way of not only documenting the information and collections about Uzbekistan, but also sharing this with the world and making this information more accessible than it has been in the past. Um, Again, I'm just so thrilled to be participant. Feel very uh, lost my train of thought. Excited to be here and excited to meet so many esteemed colleagues. We have a collection of mainly carpets. We have different things in our collection, but we have about 1,000 carpets in our collection, and about maybe 5% of them are pieces from Uzbekistan. So we have about a dozen Gajari Gilam textiles, we have about a dozen square embroidered textiles, and we have maybe about a dozen Irsari pile woven carpets, also from Uzbekistan. So we have shared these in a variety of different ways. We've published some books on them, but we've also included these in exhibitions, and I regularly feature this material in the teaching that I do. I teach museum and heritage studies, and from time to time, I also welcome in groups of artists, school children, other people that might be interested in the cultures represented by our collection. People are always really excited to see this material and to learn about a culture that is not well understood outside of Asia. I was really pleased to be asked to participate in an earlier volume, the volume on embroideries and textiles of Uzbekistan. And for that, I provided a short article on the Uzbek textiles that we have in our collection, how they ended up in Calgary, Alberta. And this story, in a nutshell, our donor was a man named Dr. Lloyd Erickson. He lived for carpets and textiles his whole life. I think that he found these things for sale in Istanbul in the early 90s and purchased a number of them and ended up donating them to Nickle galleries. So it was really his generosity and his foresight that brought the collection to Calgary and has enriched the holdings that we have and enriched the stories that we're able to tell with our collection. So from Uzbekistan to Istanbul to Calgary, Canada, they've had an amazing journey.
Mrs. Hardy, you also just mentioned about the in your there is there are carpets in your museum in Calgary, and could you tell the history of appearing our national carpets, Uzbek carpets, there in your museum?
A similar story. Most of these things came from this one collector, Dr. Lloyd Erickson. Um, he was mainly interested in carpets and textiles of Western Asia, but from time to time he would find beautiful pieces from Uzbekistan, some from Turkmenistan. We have about a dozen Ersari carpets. They're the largest pieces in our collection, and I admit they're among my favorite because they're so beautiful. And we have some really big ones in very good condition, and I've shown them in exhibitions a number of times.